Yes, that's why he agrees.
Because this is like, you're the best ever. You're Tom Brady. Shit. Let's go.
I agree.
Win our Super Bowl.
I agree. Did you love the search for the perfect rental on a Friday night? Did your parents have all of the premium channels so you watched all the movies you probably shouldn't have because you were way too young? I know that's what I did, and my co-host did. Welcome to Mike and Anthony Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host Anthony.
Hallelujah, it's another miracle.
Yes, it's another miracle because it's another episode. We bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, during which we will play the game and open up a 6-pack of favorite scenes. We also point out a couple of generic scenes as well. At the end of the show, we will rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is being conned out of your money, and 24 cans is looking fabulous in a silver sequin jacket.
I think 1 can in this particular instance is... You're blind melon and there's no rain.
That's actually pretty excellent. But before we get to all that, we want to let you know that we have a Patreon. We want to encourage you to join it and help support the show. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus patron-only episodes and much more. We also plan on making most of our back catalog possibly only for patrons. But if we can get 10 by October, we won't do that. What? You gonna say something? You look.
I was looking at your shirt. You got a new one?
Oh. No, it's our same logo.
I didn't know you
he's looking
that.
at.
I saw you.
Here's the thing.
Got the shirt.
What I'm wearing is one of our shirts, which you can go ahead.
I didn't know you had the black and white one. That's all.
Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm wearing one of our shirts with one of our logos on it, where you can go to our website, sodapopcultureclub.com, and you can hit the merch link and you can buy one yourself.
It's a true story.
They are.
He's repping it. He wears it. So do I.
I do wear it. But before we, but other things I want to tell you first before we got to that was, if you want to get one of your movies done, the best way to do it is probably be a patron, because if you suggest it, eventually we'll probably do it. If you want it to be done right away, you can send us $25 using Venmo or PayPal to @SodaPopCultureClub and tell us what it's for, and we do it. That's called the Fast Pass, like Disney World, but for podcast. So
podcast
there you go.
With a happy ending.
Well, let's not get into that. A couple more things. Don't forget to share the show with your friends and check out our Instagram at Mike and Anthony, where we post memes of like crazy things like dogs playing cards and Anthony's abs. So there you go.
You waste so much fucking time with this shit. No, we don't.
Okay. One more thing. We need you to go to Apple Podcasts and hit us up for a 5-star, any star review, really, and a comment. It'd be super awesome. It does help our show. Anthony.
Yes.
You got anything you want to say about what we're doing?
Yes, I do. Play the fucking trailer.
Lord, you know I've been lonely, I've been cheated, I've been misunderstood.
Just off the main highway, at a wide spot in the road, is Rustwater, Kansas. Prime pickings for Jonas Nightingale.
Are you ready for a miracle?
Part showman.
I hear Satan knocking, but he can't come in.
Part salesman.
We don't need no preacher selling us a lot of bunk.
I'm not selling bunk, friend. I'm giving it away.
Messiah of the interstate.
Take a whiff at what just walked in.
Special today steak, no liver, no fish, no ham, no spinach.
Awful lot of nose there, Marva.
No lip.
She wants me.
I think you should stick with your Bible pointers.
All right, let's get some empty lives a little meaty.
Section 2. First row, the white shirt, back problem.
And you, sir, come on up on stage and cure your backaches.
You don't care what these people need. Their truck broke down and they're looking to cash in.
I give my people a good show. Plenty of music.
All he's doing is selling fairy tales to a bunch of people who thank him for it.
Whoa! I feel a healing coming on.
My sister thinks you're fake.
Well, maybe I am and maybe I'm not.
Get the job done. What difference does it make?
Get the strength in your life.
You believe in miracles, right?
I'd like to hear what your sister has to say on the subject.
I believe in life. What it does to you, and what you do back.
Are you ready for the truth?
I'll bet the last time you had a man was when Nixon was in office.
Oh, you're so manipulative.
Manipulators are sneaky. I'm obvious.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
A series of alleged miracles have occurred in the town of Rustwater, Kansas.
Alleged. You said it, babe.
They say a little faith can work wonders.
Hey, Rev, what about me?
I don't think I got any more healing power left in me tonight.
But once in a while, it just might do the impossible.
Are you worried this time, Jonas, that somebody's actually up there watching?
Paramount Pictures presents Steve Martin, Deborah Winger, Leap of Faith.
Whoa! Am I in white boy heaven or what?
Did that sound wrong to you?
Sounded shitty. There's no trailer.
What it sounded like was the overdub of an Italian cast somewhere.
You don't need a trailer if you follow Jesus. Yes.
You don't need a trailer. And that's okay. That's okay. Because
the
you know what?
trailer
Anthony,
is in your hearts, people. It's in your hearts. Satan's not in these. Satan is not in these trailers. He's in here. He's in your hearts. Go on home. Sit in judgment on yourselves. Go on home.
Get the Anthony. Just because the trailer sucks, Anthony's just gonna give you the breakdown.
I'll give you the breakdown. Fuck it. All right, here is our breakdown by the numbers since we don't have a fucking trailer for you. Directed by Richard Pierce and starring Steve Martin, Deborah Winger, the girl that got bitch slapped by John Travolta in that one movie, Lolita Davidovich, Liam Neeson, He Will Find You and He Will Kill You, Lucas Haas, Meatloaf, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and MC Gainey. Leap of Faith was released on December 18th, 1992. Taking in $23.4 million at the box office against a $20 million budget. Sounds about like the ratio they would have with this traveling fucking circus they got right now. It scores a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb and 64% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which to me is not terrible because that means more people like it than don't. But it's obviously probably a little polarizing.
I think it's, I think it's about right. I think it's about right.
This right here is a good fact, though. Steve Martin took over the lead role after Michael Keaton quit the production. Producer Daniel Melnick was another to walk, reputedly over money tussles with Paramount. So basically, money.
That's interesting, though, because, you know, when we talk about, like, when we're talking about these movies and like different people you'd like to see in the role, or you could see, or people that were up for the role, I would like to have seen Steve Martin. Love him.
Great.
No God. Yes. National fucking treasure for sure. I would have liked to have seen Michael. Like I'm saying this, that like this movie, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it enough that I would actually like to see this movie with Michael Keaton in it. I would watch both of them. I would like to see that. I can picture him in this role for sure.
Because his over-the-top humor he had early in his career specifically.
It's
when you think of like Gung Ho and Mr. Mom. And
it's that, but this particular role of an evangelist,
he'd be great.
Man, I was like, damn, Michael Keaton?
Yeah. There's some people you're like, man, the sliding doors of Hollywood, you know, one guy comes in, one guy leaves.
Like,
you know, it's
I'm
strange.
the Holy Ghost with the most.
How many times though have we looked at a movie and we're like, oh my gosh, what if that guy would have done it? You know,
right.
It happens.
It's funny. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is one that like, I don't necessarily not want Steve Martin to be in it, but I would like to see it both ways, you know? Not that I would rather see this person or this person. I would just love to see that version of it and how it would have been.
Yeah. Like, you know what it would be like? Back to the Future, how they pretty much shot a whole movie with Eric Stoltz before they switched it out for Michael J. Fox. I would like to see both movies. Well, they said they shot a lot of it. I don't think they
shot that much.
They shot enough of it, and they shot out a sequence.
A decent amount, but yeah.
And they did it so late in the process, they were afraid. Let's put it that way.
But I don't think, looking back, I don't want to see Eric Stoltz. But that's hard to say because
I'm just saying he was a dark. They said he was a darker version of Marty.
It is. It's totally different though because it's a completely different movie. It's a box office masterpiece. Michael J. Fox owned that character. That's different than what we're talking about here.
I get it. I get it.
You know what I mean?
So
like this is like I'd rather see Michael Keaton in Roxanne.
Oh well, that's a great movie too.
Actually,
I think you could do Roxanne.
I think he could do that.
Could do fucking Roxanne.
I think this is a thing we just came across. Listen, I don't know. We got
Michael Keaton and the Jerk. That's what you couldn't see. That's what you couldn't see.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I can see Michael Keaton doing that too. So I think, you know what? Michael Keaton and Steve Martin, I think what we're saying here is they're kind of on
Three
the same
Amigos.
level. They're on the same level.
They're Three Amigos.
No, Michael Keaton would be better in Three Amigos because he would have the Batarang. So
yeah, yeah. So there you go. Are you ready for the game?
No, but
are
go
you
ahead.
Ready? He's gonna play the game. Here we go, guys. All right, and we're here to play the game. And the game is where I'm going to read 3 reviews of this movie. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake, which I have made up. And he has to guess which one that is. And you too can guess along because why not? You know, be a winner. Be a winner unlike him today because I feel good today.
Be a winner. This game is brought to you by Noah's Mill Whiskey.
Actually, we are not sponsored by any alcohol companies that I know of.
I'm just throwing that in there. I already said earlier, I should start plugging some whiskeys that I'm doing.
Yeah.
That I'm drinking.
You're drinking.
Right now, I am sipping on Noah's Mill whiskey, which I got to say is very, very fucking tasty.
Is that 2 fingers you've got there?
It's, my fingers aren't that big, so it's like a finger and a half.
Yeah. All right.
But
that's kind of like
I gotta say, this is really good stuff. Anybody that likes whiskey, I would highly, highly recommend this.
Does not help you with the game, though.
Well,
does not help you with the game
right now. You guys got to understand dealing with this fuckhole here on this show. I would recommend Kessler's or anything you can get your hands on. Get the cheap shit. It doesn't matter.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here's your reviews. Paul Salfin, supercala.com. I actually walked out of this one. Bad. Sam Emerson, Santa Cruz Gazette. I felt conned after watching this one. Bob Bloom, Journal Courier. An underrated drama highlighted by Martin's flamboyant performance. There you go. Wow. Did you need me to reread anything or
read that first one again?
Paul Salfin, supercala.com. I actually walked out of this one bad.
I'm going to say it's that one.
Okay. Is there a reason why? Do you want to give me a...
I'm going to tell you, and I don't know. Paul Salfin, I feel like I know that name.
Okay.
I can't say why. Whatever.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Exactly.
I am going to eliminate one though for you.
All right.
And that's Bob Bloom. The Bob Bloom of the Journal and Courier thinks it's underrated, and that's real.
Okay.
Sam Emerson in the movie Lost Boys was Corey Haim.
Oh.
Of the Santa Cruz Gazette, I was going to say the Santa Clarita, but you would have known. So,
yeah.
There you go. So, I got you. I win today.
Wah, wah, wah.
And if you won, you can let us know. Email us. Tell us how you feel victorious, and he's a loser.
Please do. Yes, I am a loser. I am sitting here talking to you, so I don't call myself a winner.
And we're going to get into this and we're going to start going. But first, a word from this. Faith healer Jonas Nightingale makes a living traveling across America holding tent revivals and conducting purported miracles while being helped by his friend and manager Jane Larson and an entourage of fellow con artists. One of their trucks breaks down in Rustwater, Kansas. Rustwater, short on jobs and in a drought, is in desperate need of rain to save its crops. Learning they will be stuck in Rustwater for 4 days waiting for replacement parts, Jonas decides to hold revival meetings despite the town's small size in an effort to cut some of their losses from the repairs. Early on, Jonas meets Marva, a waitress in a local cafe, but she rebuffs his persistent advances.
I'm going to get my 6-pack already.
You're like, okay. You're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crew. I love this crew. You got
like
Meatloaf,
the whole vibe.
His crew that he travels with. Like, you throw in a golf club, you've got 10 Cup.
You do.
This reminds me of them so much. Like, I mean, these are, you got Meatloaf, Philip Seymour Hoffman and shit. Like, it's all
the Peanut Gallery.
It does like you're driving cross country, living in and out of each other's pockets, kind of thing.
That is Jane the Cheech Marin character. Then is that what you're saying?
You know, it's funny, like because you watch this and like, so they've got what, the 2 tour buses and the semi.
Yeah.
So this kind of like this would be Tin Cup after he actually went pro and went on tour.
And then started going across country trying to cash in.
Like, doing his thing.
Yeah, he's like, you know who it reminds me of? When you say that, it reminds me of, John Daly.
I was just going to say John Daly, yeah.
He would go, when he was still drinking, and he's now clean, but when he was still drinking and a partier, he would go to the tournaments ahead of time and party and get all loaded with people. And that was the show. It was like a thing, and people would pay him to come to their bars.
He's still drinking. It's just like 14 Diet Cokes an hour, I think.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it like in the 70s when they said you need to lighten up on your drugs, so do a joint a day and 3 beers or something?
Just more like, give me something with some stevia in it, god damn it, and a cigar.
I agree with you. I love the crew, and I love how you see right away the high tech tricks they use when they get that cop.
Yeah,
when they get pulled over. That was pretty
at the time high tech.
Well, yeah, even now though you could still do that with a earbud.
I know, but like the technology they have there is like something that a 7-year-old could get online right now.
Oh, right now? Yeah. But then that was a thing. That was definitely a thing. As a matter of fact, do I have that I don't know if I have that fact on here. I might have it later. I'll talk about it later. It's here it is. Jonas' mind reading trick, which he does with the cop first, wherein he receives intimate details about his marks via a small radio, loosely follows the exploits of televangelist Peter Popoff. This is a real guy who did what he's doing.
Yeah.
And nothing. Yeah. So he performed very similar tricks with his wife at a microphone. So it's yeah.
I mean, like already, like, because this is back in the 90s, early 90s. And this is when you had the televangelists. It was like a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
You had, but not even that. You had the 900 psychic numbers. You can call in, get your fortune told. All this shit, which it was just such a fucking
so
racket.
awful.
It was such a,
and
but it's really funny to think back on that now. Cause like, if you don't like people now, they don't understand that. They don't even, like if you didn't grow up during that time, you didn't realize how much bullshit that was. And like that was such a thing.
And how easy it was for people to fall into it because there was no internet. There was no way to
But that's the thing. Like
anything.
Right now, YouTube would debunk that in a week. And people are like, oh, fuck that.
Well, that's what happened to Peter Popoff, the original guy.
Yeah.
On Johnny Carson's show, he got outed by a magician who showed his tricks, and I forget the guy's name, but he's a very famous atheist actually in the atheist community for what he used to do. So
and see, that's like the big difference there. And we'll I'm sure we'll get into this later, but magicians even like that's something you're paying for entertainment. This is and that's kind of the whole thing about this. They're putting on a
This
show.
skirts
It's like,
that line.
and there's so many questions about it as far as, is it right? Is it wrong? It's like if people pay to see it, but this is totally different because they're expecting more out of it because of their faith.
I agree. The expectations are different. It's like I like what you say there with that, because it's like the moment where you're singing and dancing and stuff, that's a show. The moment where you're trying to heal somebody and that's not really happening,
Right.
that's a con.
And
You're
thinking this will help you in whatever
Now,
way.
The first scene though with the cop
Yeah.
is a good example of where you could see how he can cold read people, and he but he does it for selfish needs, but he does help the guy.
But
so
he
it's
helps,
really
and
that
that's
fine line.
And that's what sets this up. It's like, I get the end results. What does it matter how I did it?
That's the theme of the movie.
It's a very fine line. Yep.
Now, when they get to Rustwater, one of the things Rustwater is known for is corn relish. What is it, and why in the fuck would you want it? I don't even know what corn relish is. I didn't look it up. I didn't Google it. I didn't. It's not. I was not that interested. But when you went in that diner, you saw it all over the fucking counter in those little dishes. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I like corn and I like relish. So,
I mean, if you're telling me you're putting some pickled vegetables with some corn, I guess maybe. Is that what we're going for here?
I don't know. Hold on. Let's check this out. Corn relish. Let's see. Google, what do you tell me? There's corn, bell peppers, onion, diced pimentos, sugar,
might be tasty,
cider vinegar, celery seed, salt, mustard seed, red pepper sauce. This is just one version that I looked up. So
okay, my thing is that doesn't sound that bad. I think at our next cookout, you make the corn relish, and we try it out.
I might just fucking buy it online.
Yeah, that's true. Now when they get to town, the diner scene is, I love everything about it. There's so many things that go on in there. There's so many. I like his when he hits on the one girl, and one of my favorite lines is the great wisdom he has: the greater the resistance, the further you can get. Like
a slingshot.
Like a slingshot, yes. I love that. I like the KKK omelet. Whites only. I thought that was a funny joke.
I like, is it? It's not funny because we can't say it's funny now.
And I can because he was
for what we think at this time is a man of God saying that. That's kind of not cool for him to say that.
I think that was the point.
I don't. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's the point. Like, he's new in town. He's an evangelist.
Yeah.
And he makes that joke. I don't think that's the way to go.
He was making it for the benefit of his angels, the Jonas's angels or whatever their choir. I think they're called his angels. The choir is and they laughed at it. So that's why I was like, it's funny.
Oh, this is back then too, when everybody would laugh at everything that you say because they go along with you because they have to. Because remember, he's rolling deep. He's got an employee base of how many hundred people?
Oh, there's a lot of people that have to put up that damn two bus loads and
that's what I'm saying. Like, watching this, I was like, you kind of can't really tell for sure because you got the choir.
Maybe he hires day laborers to put up the.
Well, no, they did do day laborers. I do think they did that because they mentioned that when they were trying to get the permits. But I'm like, how many people do you got rolling with you? Because you've got this whole choir, and that's like, 50 people at least.
Right? Well, maybe 30. I don't know. You're right, but it's a lot.
All these other, like, you got a lot of fucking people working for you.
Yeah, he's an economy, but it's on a house of cards.
He's an economist, actually.
I've got my 6-pack here, though. I've got a line here that I like in here. it's kind of a throwaway line, but I just like the way Steve Martin delivers it. When he's talking to the one lady at the diner, he goes, "I wish I could, ma'am, because I know how Jesus loves to rock." The way he loved to rock. I just love that. The delivery of that line.
Yeah. It's one of those
I do love that.
Steve Martin or Michael Keaton could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny,
Yeah.
Once you said that, I'm like, you start thinking about.
Oh shit.
I'm picturing Michael Keaton doing that too now because he could do it too.
You're right. He could. Now, when they're trying, like you talked about the permits, when they're trying to get that. When you see Liam Neeson in this movie, can you only think of his particular set of skills?
No, what I can think of is he doesn't look that much younger there than he does in those movies.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
yeah, it's true.
Really, I'm like, was he just born 40
looking that
years
way
old and that's it for a long time?
You know, I was listening about
to Love Actually. Like, he doesn't look that any different. Like, are you fucking Paul Rudd?
That's
what
good
the hell's
makeup.
going on?
That's makeup. But I was just listening to some people who do a thing on Schwarzenegger. And Schwarzenegger, people don't realize, was in his mid-30s by the time he did Terminator. And think how long he looked like that. Like, how long he looked like he was 30-something years old until probably in the early aughts, he looked the same.
Well, Terminator
for years was 82.
What the hell? Give me a buzz cut and put me in sunglasses and
yeah, but every movie he looked the same for like 20 years, and he's obviously in his 40s, getting into his 50s. It's crazy. There's some people like Paul Rudd, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Liam Neeson that just for some reason there's a time in their life where they just don't age but they one day hit the wall. Schwarzenegger did. I'm sure Liam Neeson will.
I'm waiting for that.
And Paul Rudd will hit the wall. He will. His skin will loosen. He'll be.
I don't know.
Whatever. He will.
I feel like Paul Rudd. I don't know. The gods just blessed him, or he has found a cream that we don't know about.
You know what? What he probably is doing is probably going to become a televangelist because Steve Martin in here.
No,
that's what
I'm going to tell you right now.
Follow me with my skin treatment.
What you're going to find on the shelves at CVS in several years will be Rudd Mud.
Rudd Mud?
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe we should come
up
with
on your
that.
face. Exfoliate.
No, I was going to say, I love, but I was going to get back to this. Jonas, I love when he goes to the radio station and he's laid on thick. And one of my favorite lines, I don't have it as a 6-pack. I could have so many with just lines. The one with the real butter. I just love that line when he says, you know, the movie theater popcorn, you know, the one with the real butter. Like, what the fuck? I guess maybe that was a thing then because they did used to have the butter sprinkle. You're right. They did used to have the butter sprinkle, not the butter, you know. He's right.
But
the one with the real butter.
We all know we want the imitation shit dunked 14 times into like that's what everybody wants.
You want halfway, you want to fill it with some butter, halfway again, fill it with some butter. You want to, you know.
The thing with that is if I'm going to the movies and I'm paying $8 for a fucking tub of popcorn, I want as much shit as I can get in that. You give me all of it. Dunk it again.
Here's what I want to. You want to go to the movies with me again?
I don't ever want to go to the movies with you again, especially with you driving.
Yes, you do.
No,
Fuck
I don't.
off. You do. So here's what we got to do though. We got to bring one of those metal bowls and then and fill the bottom of it with some of the butter and then toss the popcorn in the butter because I think that would make it perfect.
And then do a little emerald at the end, a little bam, bam,
bam. Hit with some spice.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I want to get into the building the tent. We talked about that a little bit. They had the day laborers, but it's a great montage, isn't it? Isn't it a great?
You know, it is, but I was watching that and thinking that does not look sturdy to me.
Oh, that looked like to me that looked way better than it should have ever been.
Like the way you're pulling that up, I'm like, it didn't look structurally sound.
To
It
me,
really
it looked
didn't.
like it was structurally sound because those cables are tensioned. But my problem is that where those things poke through the top are those holes. So if it rains, it's going to come in through those holes.
Well,
That was my
because
question.
that's how the Holy Spirit gets in. You gotta have some
Oh
holes.
yeah, yeah. And that's how Satan gets out, and the Holy Spirit comes in.
Exactly.
Hallelujah!
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. I think Jonas could have been a politician because when he was out there and they were going out there and telling everybody to come, he was pressing the flesh pretty good. Like he could, I mean, he has no problem just being himself
I
all
don't.
the time.
I don't know why he didn't try. I mean, he's got a record, so that might be why. Because it was gonna be like, why didn't he try that instead?
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know.
it makes you wonder at
I
the end of this, what the hell is he gonna do now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can speculate at the end of this what might be happening with that. Now, do you? So Jane ends up showing interest in Will. Do you know why? Like, because I don't understand. She's obviously into Jonas's whole vibe and likes. She kind of got off on
Now,
it at first in this movie, helping doing that. She kind of enjoys that. So why would you go for Will, who hates everything about it?
no, I don't think that at all. I think they've got it's a different relationship. I don't think it's one of those,
When I say
yeah.
get off, I don't mean sexually. I mean get off like as in
That's
having
what
a good time.
that's what I'm saying. Like they're I feel like they are actually people that are like the don't dip your pen in the company ink kind of thing.
Okay.
Where she's like, and you gotta think about, like, they're on the road. They're meeting
Yeah.
a lot of people. This is
Yeah.
they're a rock band.
Pretty much. They're like they're a
Right.
traveling rock show.
So that's the thing. It's like you can have that the innuendos and stuff, but don't fuck another bandmate kind of thing.
It's funny you say traveling rock show, but their album is the Bible.
Well, exactly.
They play the greatest hits in every town.
Hey, they're Creed, okay? They're fucking Creed.
But how does that go again?
Court is in session. Verdict is in. No appeal on the docket today, just my own sin.
Hallelujah, brother. Testify.
Should have been dead on a Sunday morning, banging my head. All right. So no,
okay.
I think that's the thing, and she's like, that's not gonna happen. Maybe it did. We don't know, but it's pretty much not gonna happen again. I would say it either never happened or it did once and it's never gonna happen again. You know?
Yeah, I got you.
So she's like,
yeah.
hey, I'm a young, virile person. I just got out of an abusive relationship with John Travolta. I need some ass, okay?
I need a guy who's a gentleman.
Somebody that didn't just win a bull riding contest and beat me up and shit before that. I need a gentleman.
But
that's
now I do like when Jonas is going after Marva, and she's like, and I love her line, is it sort of a holy grail of road pussy kind of thing?
Yeah.
That was a Deborah Winger. That's a great line for a person who wanted to do all these feminist movies we've talked about.
You gotta be the character, though.
Yeah, I guess.
And I like Marva. Have you ever heard that name before in your life?
No, but that does sound like something that you would see in the South or in the Midwest. A name. It was probably Martha and someone named Marvin together.
It's funny because and she is, that actress is very good looking, obviously.
Yeah, she's pretty.
She's very pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Marva dump truck when I hear that.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I can
think
of.
That's Lolita Davidovich.
That doesn't fit Marva dump truck.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. You're right. But she's cute, and it is a thing. Now let's get to the first revival meeting. The one thing that he says in this is he says, always look better than they do. I have a fact on that. Is he actually got advice from someone before he became a famous stand up comedian? Steve Martin did. They told him always look better than they do before he became famous. Because that's why he wore the white suit. So if you ever watched his old stand up, he always wore a really finely tailored white suit because he was told always look better than them. So,
which makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, it does make sense in any form of entertainment because, like, you want people to look up to you, to want to be you. So,
yeah, they want to. If you want them to be there, you got to do that. So I got a 6-pack I want to hit. Okay, here we go.
Hit it.
And in his sermons or in his preaching or whatever it is, you could pick so many. But one of my favorites is when he says, "By the man with the 12-gauge supercharged grenade launcher of love." It's so over the top.
It is.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I just I can't help but when I hear that. But it's so bizarre. Like those people are listening to this and they're taking all of it seriously, and I'm listening to it and I'm laughing. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, no, you're doing what you should do, because if you were at a real evangelist gathering, you would be laughing at every fucking thing they said. So would I.
You are correct. You are correct.
Like that, we'd be doing the same thing. Like, oh God, you fucking idiots. Oh, it's so funny. Because when you watch this shit, like, this movie is like watching that.
It is. It is.
They used to show these on TV and shit. All of this.
And it was bizarre.
It was the same dumb shit. It was like, really? But you're laughing at the stuff they say because you know that they're full of shit.
Because if they were sincere, they wouldn't be on TV. That's basically what it comes down to. Because they're about seeing people, having people see them, not about saying what they need to say. I want to get into he gets into the healing part. Now, earlier in this, I got a generic. That's what I want to get into.
All right.
Generic here. And earlier when the people are coming in, a lady named Emma Schlarp comes in, and they say, "Oh, let's take you to the front. I got a nice seat here. I sit you here." And then when they get into the healing portion, he's doing his thing. People are pretending, I guess, to be healed. I never understood the whole healing thing. But my thing is with her, they take her on the stage, and when she came in, she didn't speak of any ailments. She didn't say she was there for that. But when she came on the stage, he like says, "Oh, you can't walk or stand or whatever it is." And then she stands up and dances and like looks like she's in a trance and goes along with them. To me, I didn't understand why she did that. I thought that was a whole kind of.
Like, I don't know.
Why would she do that?
You know what? So, I just rewatched this for the first time in many years. I'd have to check that again because I do know that there was something about it where, because he asked her.
She said she traveled 30 miles from somewhere else.
Yeah.
She sits down at the thing. They take her up there. You don't hear anything else. And then next thing you know, she's on the stage dancing like she couldn't walk.
Having a lot of trouble walking in the first place. And I think that might be why. You know what I mean? When he got her, she was going very fucking slow. She was like going like my kid's Power Wheels when the battery's almost dead. She's like going. Exactly. So I think that might have been why it was like, oh, let's get you a seat here. And maybe they thought she couldn't hear very well, didn't know what they were saying.
So, took advantage. That's why I say they took advantage of her.
Yeah.
Or if she went along with it, she's just as bad as they are. I mean, just whatever. So, do you have a couple of 6-packs here you want to go over?
I do.
Let me hit one for you.
All right. So, at the first whole gathering, the mind reading trick. So, we got a little of this earlier when they got pulled over, and he did that, which we talked about. I like it here, partly to see the coordination and really old technology being used. So, it was really, I do like that about this because it's kind of genius, but at the same time, it's like, You guys are working on Commodore 64s. What the hell are you doing here?
Those weren't bad though. Those little, they had smaller in-ear ones than I've
81.
seen in
B12. It's like, you're playing Battleship, but telling them,
Hey,
this is what that person said. I typed it down here.
the grid
This
is
is funny.
genius because they always set it up the same. I guess that's a good thing when it comes to that. But you know what? I was just thinking, doesn't this remind you of Fletch Lives a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of. I mean, they both came out around the same time though, so there's that. So
Yeah.
I think Fletch Lives maybe came out a year
But
before,
I did
so
like,
they have this same thing.
I will say, but it was that whole like controlling the crowd kind of thing, and doing that was that part of it that was cool. It made me think, honestly, when I watched it, it did make me think of Now You See Me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Way
Now
older
You See Me is
version, but
much
way older
better
version.
than that.
But yeah.
You have a second one though, right?
I got a second one. Why don't you tell him to go kick some shit? Best line of the movie. One of the best lines that I remember in a long time, and I forgot about that line in this movie. Why don't you tell him to go kick some shit? You could use that every day of your life, people. Go tell him to kick some shit. Just use it. I love it. It's a great saying. Great. I'm bringing that back.
If you need a PG version, Kick Rocks is it?
Go kick some shit. No, you don't. You need the full version. And guess what, dude? Go kick some shit. Is actually hey, go kick some shit is actually PG-13.
Okay.
According
PG,
to,
I said PG.
No, I think Go Kick Some Shit today is actually PG too.
Okay, G. Rated G version, Kick Rocks.
No, there's no G anymore.
You're not a G, I can tell you
no
that.
G,
Are you ready?
There's no Warren G. There's just kick some shit. Put on your shit kickers and kick some shit.
Go ahead. You're up.
Jonas can't understand why Marva won't date him. Marva points to her brother Boyd, who walks with crutches following an auto accident that also killed her parents. Marva explains that doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong with him, so as a last resort, she took him to a faith healer who subsequently blamed it on Boyd's supposed lack of faith. Marva now detests faith healers, having had one blame her brother for his own psychosomatic disability, and she's still serving pancakes at IHOP.
Yeah. Now this is a small thing. This is an important part of the story. There's not much to say here, other than I think the reason this is important is when Jonas sees him, that kind of scares him, because then the person he wants to date also has someone that needs healed, and it's you know how that works. You heal my brother, you get in my pants. I think that's what he's thinking in his mind.
When I get that feeling,
that type of thing.
I need sexual healing. Yeah.
But what con men always avoid, is the genuine article. Meaning the honest man, the genuine person, they always avoid that at all costs, because that's the one thing they can't get around. They can't ever beat an honest person who's genuine. That's hard to do.
The real deal that will spoil my deal.
That's why Will is not in the tent giving money.
That's why
he's not looking for anything.
Yeah, we are not the genuine article. You and I.
Yeah. Well, what con men prey on is people looking for something for nothing. And ironically, when you go and pray and ask for things, you're looking for something for nothing. You're saying, hey, here's, and you think you're buying salvation or buying your prayer to be answered, but you're looking for something for nothing. And that's what he prays on, and this guy is not.
That's like us with this podcast. We're preying on those people.
We're praying.
You're getting nothing from this.
You're getting nothing. Well, I'm gonna. Do you have anything else? Because I was just gonna move on. Like I said, it was just an important part of the story. We want to make sure.
Yes, let's go.
Rustwater's local sheriff, Will Braverman, is unhappy with Jonas and tries to prevent his townspeople from being conned out of their money. He tries engaging in some legal harassment as well as unmasking Jonas on the revival stage as a fraud. Jonas is able to spin this to his advantage and re-energizes the crowd, further exacerbating the sheriff. Jonas also gives back the collections for the day, saying he would not take their money in good conscience, knowing that they doubted him. If his faith was strong, God would send them a sign. He also has his crew secretly plant an additional $80 among the crowd. The next morning, the huge crucifix forming the backdrop of the revival tent with Jesus' eyes normally closed is found to somehow have his eyes opened. A shocked Jonas proclaims it a miracle, even though he is the one who did it.
Get the fake 20s.
Get the fake 20s. Yes.
Wow.
So this section is where we go through a lot of things. This is where I want to say that the revivals, though, do, like we said earlier, they do look entertaining. So if you go there, like Jonas said earlier in the movie, I give them a show. If you feel that you put your money in there and you got a show and that's what you got out of it,
yeah,
I think okay. But the intention is everything in this.
Exactly. And people, they're not putting their money in to watch a show, though. They're going there for free. They're putting it in because they think that they're going to get something out of it. And that's going to get me in a whole thing about religion that I don't want to go into right now.
I know. But
I am happy to go into it. I just don't want to right now. Because that's like, we got to do a whole episode on a bunch of other shit, Jehovah's Witnesses and all this other shit that I want to rant on and all this stuff. But it is a bunch of bullshit. Like,
especially this, yeah.
Listen, like passing around a collection plate.
Bucket.
They
passed buckets.
No, I've seen. Well, to me, growing up in church, it was a plate. I mean, it was
plate.
a
I know what you mean.
wicker plate. But like, very funded. What the fuck? You know? So this is you. Give more of your fucking money that you don't have for salvation or for whatever the fuck you're trying.
The promise of maybe getting something better.
The promise of, you know what, right there. The promise of maybe. I think that's it right there.
Should we write the movie, The Promise of Maybe?
The Promise of Maybe? Yes, we should. Hey, edit this out and save it because I think that's actually a good thing. Don't spoil that. The Promise of Maybe. I really do think that's a fucking movie right by itself. The Promise of Maybe.
Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, there's so much. You know, the thing with this, though, is when he's up there and he's doing his thing, I'm watching it and I look at it as a show and it looks so bizarre to me that people get caught up in it. But they do, and they see it as more than just a show, and that's what really gets me. But I do want to hit a 6-pack now because this is when this comes out, is in this night. And that is the sequin coat, which is epic. That is awesome. And I like really the tricks he does in this night. And he does the thing before Will comes up on the stage. He does the thing where he puts the crosses on their head with the stamp. He does some tricks, like we said. I mean, he dupes him. He dupes him.
Duped him.
You know, I really love it. But you know, he does those tricks. He has that great coat before Will gets him. But Will does a number on him. I mean, kinda. But he's a genius. Jonas is a genius. That's all I'm gonna say. Jonas Nightingale is a genius. That's really what it is. He is a genius. Because Will, so he does all these cool things I just said. You know, he does the coat, which is amazing. I love to be a disco ball personally. I'm the right shape. Plus, he does the thing. But then Will comes up on the stage and he basically says everything about him. And then what does Jonas do? He basically says, "You're right."
Wait.
Right.
What does Jonas do? What does Jonas do? Jonas dance before the Lord with all his might. Sorry, wrong movie, but it fits so well there. What did Jonas do?
But But the thing is when Jane looked at Jonas when he was standing over the side, she kind of knew, I think, he has a thing he can do. Like, she's probably seen it all. And when he gets out there, he does, hung out in bars, hot wired cars. Did he have all these lines ready for this moment? Has he always?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you feel like he had to. You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
They've done this for so long.
I would agree. I would agree with you. Now, here's the thing I have for you, because you hate, the whole predatory nature of church, right?
Yes. Oh, God, yes.
But Will shamed it. But here's the thing I have for you. And the question, Will shamed all those people for giving Jonas money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically shamed them. Would he shame them the same way in their local church? When they give it to that little church? Would he say, oh, you need that money, don't give it to them? You need that. Or would he be okay with that? So it's just a matter of where they put it, not whether they, that's the problem.
I think this is brought in. So it's different. This is a circus to him coming to town. It's an extra.
Yeah,
circus.
but if they were going to give $10 to the local church, why, that's...
There's a difference. For him, there's a difference between church that you believe in, that you've always believed in, compared to con artists coming in trying
evangelists.
to steal your money. Con artists. Don't call them that anymore.
Yeah.
We're not.
Well, I mean,
Fucking con artists coming in to take your money. That's a big difference. And you know what? Look, and I've already, you and I feel the same way about churches, right?
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page with that.
They're good theater.
Right. Right. So whatever. Yeah. Fuck that.
But what Jonas proves when he says his little diatribe and gets him back in his favor, what he does, he proves how easily swayed people are to believe in the ridiculous. Like, he got him back around because he gave him back their money, and he said, yes, I'm the guy who traveled the rocky road. I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. And they all swayed back into believing him. Even before they left that tent, they all had a little bit more belief left. They still had a little doubt, but not as much as they did after Will got off that stage. So to me, he's that people are just gullible, and that's what that comes down to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
But let's talk about this. Did you see the picture on his bed when he got the paints, the Zamora character? Like, it looked like him being held by a mentalist or like a did you see that little picture? Probably not. It was a quick thing. It was quick. Yeah. It was real quick. And I was like, I saw that picture and I was like, well, that tells you that a mentalist named Zamora probably taught him everything he knows at a young age when he was a little boy.
Yes. I'm sorry. I remember that. Yes.
The little picture. Yeah. It while the picture is just a picture, it really fills in a story for you, doesn't it? It like shoots in a story into your head. Oh, I know what he did there. I know what happened. Yeah. That's really good. Really good movie making. That's why I was trying to say that. It's kind of nice. Now, the painting. Yeah. What do you think of this? It was a good painting, but I mean, come on.
It was.
These people are that gullible.
But
are these people that gullible, though?
Yes, they are.
Come on, man.
Dude, we've already seen they're that gullible.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that you think he painted that. That he didn't paint that. Like, he did it. Like, there's no world where he didn't do it.
Jesus awakened. It's a miracle.
You love the photo op? Did you love that photo op where he turned around and saw the cameras and did the knees kneeling? Yeah. That's just...
it is such smoke and mirrors to a T, but it does paint such a picture of what those people did. Look. Ooh, whoa. No. Nobody else came in when I was passed out. I was here the whole time.
Fred was asleep.
I was here the whole time. What the fuck?
I will say this. His chicanery did cause a tourism bubble. Do you see how many people came to that town? He did make them some money. He did make them some money. So,
did.
like he said before, am I good or am I bad?
Well,
He's
here's the thing,
ultimately
like,
bad, but
he made the town money, but who did that go to? That didn't go to the people that already put all their shit in the collection basket.
it went to the stores and the
Right. It
restaurants
didn't
and
go to the people that had no money.
Well,
They're
yeah.
they're still fucked.
They are still fucked. Okay, are we ready to move on?
Like, my husband lost a job and we're negative $40 in debt, counting the fake 20 I had in my purse when I got up. So yeah, there you go.
Here's my last $5 bill I found in the couch. There we go. All right. Throughout all of this, the subplot involving Jane and Braverman who find themselves falling for each other. She becomes enchanted by Braverman's simple farm life and his interest in butterflies. However, after Braverman's disclosure of Jonah's past, Jane breaks off their budding relationship. They soon, however, meet again, and Jane confesses to Braverman that she is tired of manipulating people. He makes it clear he would like a permanent relationship with her if she will stay. So this is kind of separate because it is a subplot. I have it here. I told you earlier, I don't understand the whole relationship. I like her on the con more. I don't like her with this guy as much.
Yeah, me too. But I feel like she doesn't want to be on the con. I'll say this about that. I don't think wanted to be on the con forever.
Well, does anybody? Because it's not a way of life.
Right,
Obviously.
but here's the thing. Like, I feel like she wanted a reason to get out of it. This is the one thing about this movie that I don't think that was a good reason. I don't think they did that well.
That's probably what it is.
Like,
they didn't give me a reason to buy into it. That's
right.
what it is.
Yeah, there's like nothing that she wanted to get laid. Okay, cool. But
she could do that and then leave.
Exactly. There was nothing to. Until you got to the butterfly effect, which whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't really think up until then. Yeah, I think they failed with that because it
was a little bit of
it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah, but I will say what we did get out of this scene and them doing in her relationship is she does go into the explanation of Jonah's life, how he was left, and we get that line, he waited for how many days and all that. It's like, so she kind of shows how she sees the good in what he does because he could be worse, and he tries to give people hope in his own way, even if it's taking their money in the same time.
Yeah.
So, I kind of see that, but she still wants to leave it. That's what. Yeah. That's like fuck her.
She wants
that's
a reason.
Kind of weird.
Yes. Hey, it's a step up for her from Urban Cowboy. She wants a reason to get out. She didn't in Urban Cowboy.
Now the convo by the tree, like when they were sitting there and she's like sitting on the thing, that was kind of weird because he was like playing with her feet. That was kind of weird. That whole scene when they're like sitting there talking and he's like touching her feet. Well, like, are they that close already? Is that wouldn't that be weird to you if like someone you just were like dating, you just all of a sudden start touching their feet and you haven't been with them like in that way?
We didn't see the earlier part of that date, so we don't know.
Okay, maybe you're right, but I just thought it looked weird. But then he goes to the go-to move. You know what that is.
The bowling ball grip?
No, the butterflies.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. What?
Oh, you're disgusting. Yeah, you're disgusting. No, the butterflies, his go-to move when he goes and does the little clapping and then after they do the talk, I think that was his closer.
Clap off. Clap on, clap off. The butterfly.
Yeah, but that's his go-to move. I wonder if he's done it with other women. Although it's a small town, probably not. Maybe not. Maybe he tried it with Marvin. She's like, I see through your shit.
Maybe he tried it with Claudia Schiffer. I don't know. He should have.
All right, you're up, man. You're up.
Jane is late to the revival for unbeknownst reasons, except she was getting laid. The townsfolk who had money planted on them reveal their unexplained fortunes. Boyd comes to believe that Jonas can make him walk again. He goes to the revival and implores Jonas to heal him. Jonas finishes the show while pretending not to notice the boy, but is compelled to return to the stage after the crowd begins to chant, "One more, one more, one more." Jonas spins the expected failure to heal Boyd by blaming Braverman, who is present, saying that if failure occurs, it will be due to Braverman's skepticism. Boyd walks to the crucifix and touches the feet. He begins to walk unassisted. Cray, cray. The crowd sweeps to the stage. After the show, Jonas rails to Jane that he was conned and that Boyd upstaged him. Jane doesn't believe it was a con. The production crew are thrilled with all the money that came in as a result of Boyd being healed. And what Boyd to join the show. Jonas reluctantly agrees. Bring him on.
All right.
Does.
I just want to say in this section, I love how Steve Martin cooks. Basically, he's cooking in this with his revival. He's putting it on thick.
Some green eggs and ham shit going on right there for sure.
He even fit in that line, the aluminum siding in the preaching. I was like I like that they have those bets. See, that tells me the things I would love. I would love to travel with that group and try to get my own lines into the show and see if I can make some money.
I would love to travel with that group to get on the PGA Tour. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So now I do want to talk about this. Mostly, I remember watching this originally. Back in the day. I don't know how long ago did you watch it when it came out? Way back when.
So here's the thing. I watched it for this podcast. I know I watched this back in the day. I can't remember how long ago. And that's the thing. Like, when I watched, I was like, I do remember it, but it's one of those I probably watched it once, so I didn't remember it that well.
Me, like you said, we had the premiums. It was probably on a lot at one point, and so you saw it like I did. Yeah, makes sense. Now I remember watching this originally and feeling that Boyd could always walk. Like when I watched it originally, that's what I always thought, and I never realized he was never really injured. Like, see, I didn't remember the part where he was all mental. I don't remember that part. I always thought he actually was injured. But instead it's all psychological. I think he was a con man, just like Jonas. I think in the end that's what he did.
I don't know.
I think
you do.
No. Yeah, Jonas thinks I think Boyd knew he could walk. And he, just like he did the magic trick in the diner, he was showing some skills. He wants to run away with the circus. And I think when he did that, he was trying to show that that he could be a part of the show and he could play that guy. And that's why I think.
You think he was just like waiting to catch his ride?
I think he always could walk, but he chose this as the time to do it because he wanted to leave with them. That is it. Okay. I don't think he was waiting for an evangelist to come along and heal him. I think it was a mental thing, and he was like, I want to go now, so I'm going to do this.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's my thought.
I don't know.
Because here's what I know.
I feel like
there is no such thing as faith healing. So he didn't get healed by faith.
I feel like he was like, I did the movie Witness. Nobody cared that much. I'm in here. Now I'm ready to walk because I got to get out of here because I got nothing else. So now I'm going to.
I was thinking.
I don't know.
I think he just chose to walk. I think he just chose to walk and exploit the situation. I think he always could have with the right motivation.
You're saying this like, I feel like then if you're gonna say that, he's like every fucking 1.5-year-old child.
Well,
I'm choosing to walk now, bitches.
No, he's different than that. I mean,
no, he's not. I'm waiting till I have an opportunity until the spotlight's on me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it when I want to do it. And if I have something to gain, then I'll do it.
I think that is the thing. He exploited it.
Is a 1.5-year-old. I'm going to do it when I fucking want to, when there's something in it for me.
Because here's the thing. We don't know how old he is. He might be 18. And if he is, what the hell is he doing for a living? Nothing. He sits there in the diner all day. So to me, this is an exploited situation to go run off and live a circus fantasy. You know, I can really walk, but now I can play the guy who can't, and we can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you do that trick, though? I guess back in the 90s, probably a lot, but because you didn't have internet yet. We're a little before that.
So,
no digital cameras.
Right. Yeah. Or
it's just saying.
Or digital porn. So you have nothing else to do. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to read the next section. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Jonas is angry because he doesn't believe he healed Boyd. Jonas accuses Boyd of being a better con artist than he himself. Boyd wants to join Jonas on the road, promising to earn his keep. Jonas agrees to meet Boyd the following morning, implying Boyd could come. After Boyd has left, Jonas speaks with his sister. She thanks Jonas, who tells her that he will not be meeting her brother, Boyd, the next morning. He asks her to tell Boyd that just because a person didn't show up doesn't mean that the person doesn't care about them, referencing a setup earlier in the movie where Jane defended Jonas by telling Braverman the story of a 5-year-old Jonas waiting in vain for 4 days for his mother to return. For many years, while living in an orphanage, holding steadfast to the belief that one day she would indeed return. This is where this is weird. Like, so he's not going to show up for Boyd because he doesn't want him there.
Right.
He's, you know, he does. This is the weird part of the movie. I'd say this is where the movie starts getting weird for me, and I have a whole spiel after the next section, but this is where it starts getting a little weird for me.
Yeah.
But when he has the talk with Boyd, Boyd says he made him walk again, which I don't believe. I think Boyd always could walk. And that's when Jonas gives him the genuine article speech, like I said before, lays it all on the line, tells him the game. And Boyd says, what's the difference if you get the job done? Which tells me once again, he could walk all along, right? Because what's the difference if I got the job done?
See, I don't know about that. Because,
why?
I don't know if that's why he's saying that. Because earlier,
why else would he?
Jonas said that earlier in the movie.
Yeah, when Braverman said,
and he's saying,
and he says, what matters if I get the job done?
What does it matter as long as I get the job done? And he's saying, what does it matter as long as you get the job done? So I don't know if he's conning anybody, or he's just saying. No, what I'm saying is, in his mindset, is he like, I did this. This is a miracle to me. What else does it matter with everything else if you get the job done? You know.
See, I don't think it was a
I
miracle.
don't know. I'm saying like he thinks it is though.
Okay.
He's still saying, "You healed me. You did this." That's what he's saying. To him.
Well, except for when he gets challenged on it, he says, "But what's the difference if it gets the job done? What difference does it make if he gets?" He does say that when he's challenged on it. So
he's saying that about him. What's the difference is if the job gets done, then
the job. But I think the job being done in this case wasn't the healing; it was the faking, the getting the money and the entertainment value.
Here's the reason I think that's not correct. If he was faking him out, they should take him with them.
Yes, that's why he agrees.
Because this is like, you're the best ever. You're Tom Brady. Shit. Let's go.
I agree.
Win our Super Bowl.
I agree. And that's why he initially agrees to take him, because everybody wants him to. But then we know what happens later. So let's go on. Let's read the next section.
So Jonas leaves the tent and witnesses the scenes happening around the tent. He packs a bag and departs alone under the cover of darkness, leaving behind his entire roadshow and most of all of the rest of everything that he owns, including his silver sequined jacket and an envelope for Jane containing his ring that she has long coveted. Jonas hitches a ride on the nearby interstate from which they had come from Rustwater. At the start of the story, Braverman and Jane drive to Jonas's motel room and find him gone. Long gone.
All right. So this is, to me, this is where, me and maybe you start seeing this movie in a strange way. I personally, when he walks out and he sees all the people doing their little prayer circles and all that, I see a horror scene. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I see indoctrination and amplification of belief by other cons. Oh, maybe he thought, what have I done? I've created a monster. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh man, I like it that he leaves. I think it makes sense as to why he wouldn't show up for the kid. Like, he knew he had to bring the kid at that point.
Yeah.
Or leave. That's why I'm telling you, it's why the kid did con him. He would have taken him if he had stayed, but he left because he just didn't. Because this is where the movie takes the shit turn to me, and it's my generic after this. So
me too, for maybe a different reason, but yeah, he knew.
We'll get to that after
what he was
section.
gonna keep going with. So yeah,
I don't agree. Like I said, I don't agree with the premise in this movie of him doing the real miracle here. Like, I think he was running from the implications of all of the revival brought with the kid, and the complicated feelings that it stirred in people.
Yeah.
I think maybe he finally hit the point where he may have grown a moral compass too. So there's that.
Right.
Things happen. Things happen.
All
right. Let me go with this.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Yeah, go kick some shit. There we go. Jonas hitches a ride with the truck driver bound for Pensacola, Florida. When asked by the driver if he is in some kind of trouble, Jonas replies, "No, sir. No, sir, probably for the first time in my life." As they continue to ride along, the drought comes to a dramatic end with a miraculous downpour. Jonas laughs silently to himself as he realizes the truth, and the film ends as he rides off into the stormy evening, hanging out the truck window, loudly thanking Jesus for the rain.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, so I want to say right away, I'm calling bullshit on the rain being a miracle, because in the part of the country where they're at, just want to let you know, it never goes 5 years without rain, and corn would never get 3 feet high without it too. By the way, somehow their corn grows and they have corn fucking relish. Just saying it.
I don't know. We saw a scene where the corn stalks were pretty bad looking, so I don't know.
No, they were up to Will's shoulders.
But they were pretty.
Up his shoulders.
They looked dry. They looked like
you have to have water. But there wasn't 5 years. They said 5-year drought. They said 5 years without rain. That's what they said.
Okay.
That's what they said at the beginning of the movie.
That's my bad.
I'm just calling bullshit. I'm calling that bullshit. And and my biggest problem with this is the coincidence of fucking weather is going to further entrench these people into some fucking belief system.
Okay.
That didn't really do it for them.
Let me tell you my biggest problem with this.
Is this a generic? Do you have a generic here?
No. But I'm saying in general.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, no. I was just joking. Like, let me tell you my biggest problem with this evangelistic shit.
Oh, well, yeah. But this is my least favorite part of the movie.
All right.
And you know what? I'll hit my generic for it because of that.
Yeah.
And what they do here, because there's so much I love about this movie up until this point, because the whole movie is about showing how the evangelist is taking advantage of people the whole time.
Right.
But because it's the early 90s, and in this country, we can't have that. They had to try and square the fucking circle and make the evangelist end up being the good guy who could heal everything. Like it couldn't be, they had to pander to religious people so they would go watch the fucking movie, which they didn't. So they could have just done the right ending, is what it comes down to. because it didn't make much money. It could have done the real ending where he didn't really do anything and made it ambiguous as to whether anything was healed and make it possible that everything was just a coincidence and a con. That's probably the best ending for this movie.
Right.
Anything that leaves you with a good question is worthy.
I think so I'll give my generic right now. Just get this out of the way.
All right.
All right. From a movie standpoint of what's going on in the movie, my biggest generic, honestly, is him leaving. Only because did you not just unemploy like a couple hundred people working for you?
Oh, yeah.
That
not if Boyd takes over. Not if Boyd takes over.
But who's gonna be the star of the show? Seriously.
That's a good question.
I'm
good
like,
question.
dude, like literally, you're the lead singer, and you said I'm quitting the band.
That's hard.
And that's the one thing about that. When he left, I'm like, good for you, and I get it, but like, dude, you got an entourage. You just left in the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happens to them? Because you're watching this as it goes. I'm like, earlier, they're like, we made 4,000 tonight. That's not gonna fucking feed all those people. You got a lot of fucking people. What the hell's going on?
You know that last night they had way more because they had more people that could fit in that tent.
And again, they all got to find new jobs apparently, or a new lead singer. And I don't know how you do that.
You say this, but you know what my thought was? Whose name is the truck in the buses? Like,
exactly.
How the fuck do they sell that if it's in his name?
Right. So he just left a lot of fucking people high and dry.
I have an alternate ending they could have done here, a different way of doing it. I actually had it written down here. I forgot. What they could have done is we could have seen where Boyd came. They could have had a scene where Boyd comes clean to his sister and says, yeah, I wanted to run away, but I actually could walk. I just chose to walk because I wanted to run away. He could say that. And then we could have heard on the radio about the looking like rain at some point tonight earlier in the movie. Like, he could have heard it on there. So, like, they could have set it up to where everything would have looked like a miracle, but wasn't. So they just chose to try and make this ambiguous religious ending that where they tried to make it feel like it was a real belief.
Right. I feel like they did.
They didn't stick the landing.
I'm trying to figure it out still because I'm like, they did not stick the landing. It was like, are you trying to show that regardless of whatever is going on, as long as like have belief, which I get that, but it was still too much, like have belief, which I get that is the kind of sentiment, but the way they did the movie, that didn't work for a movie. Cause it's like, at the end, you're like, I feel like I'm missing 45 minutes of this movie, even though.
And it was already long enough.
I don't want to watch another 45 minutes, but I'm like, I'm missing about 45 fucking minutes of this movie.
You're right. That's what I say. You don't want any more of it, but you need more.
But I kind of would fucking like to have some more of something. You get the end of it and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
I think if you get the right person to play the character, I think this could be a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Of what happens on a traveling. Well, they kind of are doing that on what's it called?
Well,
HBO.
You know what? I will say, if you get Michael Keaton, how about that?
It's HBO. They are doing that kind of. What's that show on HBO where they have the Righteous Gemstones? There is a thing kind of like that, but they have a church, a mega church, not a traveling thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's a little different, but yeah, Michael Keaton, he's still old now though.
Dude, he's coming back as Batman. Shut up. He can still do this. What do you mean he's so old? Wait, hold on. Are you saying he's too old to be an evangelist? Really?
No, I'm. Well, with the energy that Steve Martin had,
too old to be an evangelist.
With the energy that Steve Martin played, you got to admit that's.
Are you really fucking telling
level.
me right now, Michael Keaton could not bring that energy? Really?
Well, here's the thing. I'll give you my six pack. and it's my final one, and it's Steve Martin as Jonas Nightingale is the driving force of this movie. He is the greatest. But would Michael Keaton have done as well? And my answer is yes. He would have killed it, and it would have been amazing, and it probably would have made more than $20 million. Even though Steve Martin's a big star.
It cost $20 million. It made $23.4 million.
Yeah, but Michael Keaton was just Batman. If he's Batman to this, I think people would have been more interested, and it would have made money just on curiosity alone.
Yeah, might have.
I think it would.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what they paid Steve Martin and what they would have had to pay Michael Keaton, and the difference.
It obviously wasn't enough.
The difference between what it made, I don't know.
But it obviously wasn't enough because that's the reason he left. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, right, yeah.
But, I mean,
oh, there you go.
The movie itself, it's it's a
I get it.
It's a watchable movie, but it wasn't something that was going to break box office records. So I don't know how much they were planning to pay either one of them. That's all.
Probably points, and that's probably disappointing for them because they wouldn't have got anything. So let's go into your favorite category. What's your favorite thing?
Memorabilia. What would you like to own from this movie to display in your man cave?
Well, me, and you know what it is, because I said I would like to be a human disco ball, so I want the sequin jacket that he has, and I would probably get it tailored so it fits me better so that I could actually wear it rather than displaying it.
Okay. They would have to add more sequins, but that's fine.
Love the more sequins, the better.
Since you took that one, I'm going to say the Jonas Nightingale jacket.
Oh, where he does the little turn and then does the...
Oh, yeah, baby. I think that's the one. I'd be like, yeah. And I would do the same thing.
Funny.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's me right there.
You say that, but on IMDb, they have facts, right? Or things they say are facts. But this is a fact. When he does the thing where they say, "Who are you?" he does that turn and then puts his hands up in the air. Right as he puts his hands up in the air, the cash register goes ding.
There you go.
So there you go, man. That's pretty awesome. So I agree with you. That's a good one. I either one of them.
I mean, the only other thing I was gonna say would be his cowboy hat, just because when he was like the guy
Boyd's crutches
kind of thing, and
because I'd want him to not be able because he didn't need him.
Really,
you don't need him. You don't need him anymore.
Are you kidding me?
See, there's a strange. Okay, now it just made me think that's a strange memorabilia from movies. Could you imagine going to all the movies where there was kids that needed those crutches, like Breaking Bad, getting what's his name's crutches, getting Boyd's crutches, like every movie where you see that having those real crutches.
I would say, yeah. So don't take that as memorabilia. Leave those for somebody that could use them.
But my point is, wouldn't that be the weirdest collection of movie and TV memorabilia?
No, you should have been like, I want the Jesus with his eyes open.
Open.
Eyes
wide open.
Jesus is wide open.
Isn't that Creed? Oh man.
Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything.
Are you ready for rating this bitch up?
Fuck yes. I am going to. So I gotta say it is funny. Like I know I watched this movie a long time ago. I know I've seen it. Don't remember it until I watched it again at this point for this show. It is entertaining. I hate evangelists. I think we both can agree with that. Fucking hate them. Everything about them. Dirty, slimy soul suckers. But
yes.
The movie itself, it's entertaining. It's good. It's entertaining. I liked it. It had a lot left to be desired, especially, again, like we said just a bit ago, I feel like I missed about 30 to 45 minutes of it that didn't fucking happen with some... I think maybe that's part of the movie, because it did leave a lot open, that if that was the theme, have faith in things, which I get that, but at the same time, you know what? I'm a real American, Hulk Hogan style. Give me some fucking shit. Give me some closure. I give it 14, and I think that's fair. And that's pretty high, but I think that's fair. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
I am a
Don't
real
give
American.
money to the collection plate.
Unless it's the Soda Pop. Unless it's the Soda Pop Culture Club collection plate.
That's not a collection plate. That's for us, and we appreciate.
We give you bonus content.
Don't give to the collection plate. Give to us, because we appreciate.
That's correct. We will entertain you better. Okay, so I actually love this movie as well. I don't understand how it is not liked more. Like, I feel people should like it more. It feels like it's not talked about enough for what it is. It exposed to the masses the tricks behind these revivals and showed us that it's all just entertainment, much like this podcast. In the end, the one thing they do is they do their dance for the believers so they don't get offended, which is annoying, because they could have stuck a better, like we said, they could have stuck the landing a little better on the end. I think that's where they failed. But Steve Martin is excellent, and there isn't much better than him in that sequin jacket being a disco ball. But because of the pandering at the end of the movie, that bothers me so much. And some of the holes, like you said, the big 45-minute one, I give this 14 and a half cans. Without the pandering, without the pandering and the hole, this could have been a lot higher. Like there's a point in this movie. This is a 20 can movie up until a certain point, and then it goes off the rails. Yeah, but 14 and a half.
We're at 14.
That is strange.
We're strangely on the same page.
We are calibrated.
we are like pretty calibrated. Not completely, because when you go 14 to 14 and a half, like for you, Fast and Furious, if we're that much off, the NOS doesn't work and we explode, so we die. You got to be right on. We can't be almost calibrated, but we're pretty close there. That's crazy. 14 and 14 and a half, I will say, for this movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. We're that close.
It's interesting that we thought that that's what it was. It was better than average.
It was,
but not
like
great.
I was watching. I'm like, I do like this movie overall. It's a good watch, but then I'm like, it's over. That was like a big thing. I swear to God, dude. I'm like, and I know. Here's a funny thing too. Watching it, I was like, there's on the thing it showed. There's when I finished it, 20 minutes left, 25 minutes left. It wasn't that long, and then I get to the end, and then they've got the singing at the end and all that.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, are there bonus
washed
scenes?
up? Yeah.
Are there going to be bonus? And they didn't do those back then. I'm like, still waiting. I'm like, are there going to be bonus
The
scenes?
choir was a bonus scene. The choir was the bonus scene.
I know it was. It was like, this is like, okay, fuck, I got Sister Kate 3. Great. But I'm like,
Sister Act 3.
Sister Act. Sister Kate TV show. Sorry. Sister Act 3. But I'm like, what else? I miss Sister Kate. Such a good show. Jason Priestley, motherfucker. In case you didn't know.
Where are we at on this? Just find us our rating. Where are we at?
14.25. So,
and what? There has to be a Fast and Furious right next to that.
There probably is. Oh wait, 14.25. Waiting.
That's yeah.
Dude, you gave that a 6.
Yeah, but no, that makes sense though when you look at
Billy Madison is 14.
That makes sense.
Oh no, this one makes the most sense. 14.5. Urban Cowboy.
Oh, fuck. So close. How
I
is
know.
that? You notice the theme, though, in these movies are the ones with egregious things in them.
I'm telling you right now, when we some of this shit, the way it works with the scores, and again, everybody, we rate these individually, but when I see how some of this works together, this is like fucking Mercury Rising or something. Something's going on here with how some of these scores work together and relate so much.
Yeah.
We are figuring out the puzzle. Something about the universe is coming down to our fucking ratings, and I don't know how, and I don't like it.
Well, if anybody wants to rate these movies and send us theirs through our email or messages, we're fine with that. We'd like to see what you would rate them. We have no problem with that. We're very easy.
We got 14.25 for She's All That.
That makes so much sense. Yeah. It does. It does.
We got 14.375 for Son-in-Law.
These are all in that same area, though. They're like ones that aren't like 14, there are 24 moments.
Sorry, 14.25 for The Burbs.
And the funny thing about these movies is you got to remember they have moments that are 24 moments, but there's other things that bring them all down. And that's the key. These are all that style.
It is. It's just doesn't carry through the whole way. And doesn't like.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you ready?
This was a good watch. I will say I actually did enjoy watching this again. I do have to say that. But I was like, where's the rest of it? Where's the beef?
I don't know, but you know what you miss? You know, I forgot something. You know what you miss? This right here. Anyways.
Diarrhea. Cha-cha-cha.
No, the squish. You haven't heard in a while. All right. We would like to thank you for listening. We also want to remind you to join our Patreon so you can get some of that bonus content and other fun stuff. For example, we're going to be dropping bonus episodes of us discussing random things sometimes at the end of shows, and there's going to be some things we're planning. So just look out for it. Remember, you can go to sodapopcultureclub.com for all things related to the show, including your chance to make movie suggestions, and our episode schedule is there as well. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and we have a Twitch channel, which I feel is going to be a lot more active now. Now we want to give you a little tease as to what next week's movie may be. See if you can guess what it is.
This shit right here makes your dick hard.
There you have it. If you know what that is, that's awesome. And as always, thank you for listening. Is there anything else you have that you want to say?
Thank you, guys. God bless. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope we entertain you, and tell your friends.